Here we go, family. Gonna wait a second here and just wait for some people to jump on to this live weekly training here on July 30th. The power of commitment. And of course, Spirit would have it that on a training called The Power of Commitment, the Airbnb that we're staying at here in Bend, Oregon, basically the Wi-Fi went out. What's up, Nicole? So as the Wi-Fi went out at the place that we're staying, it had me ask myself, how committed am I to doing this live training for all of you? Despite how tired I am after holding space for ceremony and retreat all weekend, how tired I am, how committed am I to doing this training for all of you? Despite needing to leave the Airbnb that had no Wi-Fi to drive 15 minutes across town, to end up at this place that has Wi-Fi, this coffee shop, only to find out the Wi-Fi here isn't strong enough, that I need to do it from the car. How committed am I? So as Spirit would have it, when you proclaim your intention of commitment, you will be tested. You will be tested to see how committed you truly are. And as is the saying, better late than never. So thank you all for joining me. I see Patrick Cook is on here. Tiffany, what's up? Hello to Australia. Nicole Wilcox, hello. Here we are. We are here. Everybody deep breath in. Let's get it, guys. I'm going to dive right in today. So, since we're running a little bit late, or I should say behind schedule today. Hopefully the audio is clear. Just let me know, as always, comment below, since we're working through the phone, through my headphones. Internet should be good, audio should be good. Just give me a confirmation, comment below. Also let me know where are you tuning in from. And I want to start with a question. As we do. Kasia, I was hoping you'd jump on this one. How you doing? What's up, sister? Let's get after it right now. Scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to your vision? No matter what your vision is, whether it's for your business, whether it's for your life, love to Sweden, Kasia. 1 to 10, how committed are you? I love gauging that, using this tool to gauge the audience and seeing where we're at as a family. Where are we at as a collective? Where are you at? Kasia, 1 to 10, she's an 11. She's coming in with an 11. So 1 to 10. Let's drop in and be really, really honest. How committed are you to your vision? 1 being the least, 10 being the most. And in case you're asking yourself, what's your barometer for what your level of commitment is? I would say, if you're gonna say that you're a 1, it means you're gonna let fear and doubt override. It means you're lacking trust and you're lacking commitment. If you're a 10, it means no matter what, nothing can stop you, and your actions demonstrate your intentions, right? A lot of people will say, yes, I'm fully committed, but are you really? Do your actions reflect your intentions? Do you take action with a level of 10, or as Kasia's saying, a level of 11 commitment? If you do, then you will be receiving the results of which you intend to get in your life. It's really simple the way I look at commitment. It's like the results that we desire, whether it's a certain amount of money, certain particular type of relationships, whatever it is really for you. Tiffany's a 7. To be honest, Nicole is around a 6. Thank you for your honesty. Kasia, honestly, I would say 8 now, but it's moving around from 6 to 10. Depends on my energy. Beautiful. Thank you. Kasia, I love that answer. Tiffany, no, actually, I think I waver between 3 and 7. Marla, depends on the week. LOL, around an 8 now. Thank you, everybody, for your honesty. Yeah, step number 1, radical honesty. Step number 2, radical acceptance. Are we in acceptance of where we're at, so that we can take a leap forward in changing and shifting into where we would like to be? Nicole says, 100% fear is my so-called excuse. So, 1 to 10, for those of you jumping on, how committed are you to your vision? I'd love to have a separate question, although the answer could be the same for some of you. For those of you who have businesses, scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to your business? So you can also just comment below, yes, if you have a business right now, no, if you don't have your own business. I'm not so interested in case you're working for somebody else, how committed you are. That would help me understand your character, the level of commitment within your character. But for those of you who have your own businesses, Scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least, 10 being the most. How committed are you? Kezia, today is my 11 because it's 2 a.m. here, Angel, and I could not sleep because my heart wants to be here. I love that so much. I love that so much. Thank you for being here, Kezia. I felt your presence on here actually today before you even jumped on. I was going to message you. I felt you being here. So I know it's important for you to be here. And in Kezia's case, as is the case with all of us, there is something that lets us know inside of our being that we must be in a particular place. Like for a ceremony, it's like I just got to be there. A retreat, I just got to be there, right? We had this at this last retreat here in Bend. One of the brothers here is like, you know what? I just don't know how it's going to happen. I just got to be here. And guess what? Because he was committed, he was here. He changed the whole course of it. So for Kezia, I guarantee you she's going to have a breakthrough on this call because she was committed to being here. Talk about commitment. She was committed. Okay, it's 2 a.m. That could be an excuse or it could be an opportunity. For her, she said, I know I have to be here. So when you have a high level of commitment, it's not even going to let you sleep. That's what we're talking about here. So thanks for bringing this in, Kezia. It's like you should have the level of commitment to your business and your vision that doesn't allow you to sleep at night. It should be like keeping you up. That's how I feel. You know, sometimes people think I'm restless or I'm not sure. Sometimes people think I'm restless. They're confused. How do I have so much energy? It's not really me that has the energy that wakes me up super early or me that keeps me up late at night working on my vision and my business and my purpose. It's literally I'll start receiving structure, process, pricing. I'm receiving the business. It's the way my heart and my brain connect together in order for me to receive, process, and purpose out, execute out visions. So it keeps me up at night and it wakes me up early in the morning. Why? Because my commitment is so high that God's source spirit, if your commitment is at an all-time high, God's source spirit will always drop in for you exactly what needs to come through. Tiffany says, similar for my business, 2 and 8. Is that a range, Tiffany? You're in between a 2 and an 8. Just clarify for us. So Kali, what's going on? I see you're here. Hello. Okay. Last question for me to gauge, and then I'm going to get into the heart of this. And this might be the most difficult one to answer. Scale of 1 to 10. How committed are you in your relationships? This can include your relationship to yourself. My brother, I did a coaching session about a year ago with a dear brother of mine, Orrin Harris. Some of you might have seen his content. He's a really amazing brother. In case you haven't checked him out, go check him out at Orrin Harris, I think on Instagram. Same thing on Facebook. I've shared some of his content into the collective. I really adore this brother. Not just what he puts out, but just his heart as a friend. He's a really, really sweet man and a really powerful visionary leader. I did one coaching session with him, and it was actually really transformative. One session. And what came up for me in that session about a year ago was commitment. And what I had to take a hard look at, which was very uncomfortable, was the parts of my life I was saying I was committed to, and he just got really honest and radically responsible. He asked me to take radical responsibility. And I'm going to ask all of you to do the same. He said, are you actually committed in your relationships? Are you actually committed to your business the way that you say you are? You say you want this business with this amount of money. Are you actually, is like your commitment that strong? You say that you're in on this relationship, and at this time, this was my last partnership, my last relationship, but are you really? And I want to share a little story of what happened when I anchored my full commitment. When I anchored my full, I came out of that coaching session and I literally communicated to my partner at that time, and I said, I had this come up for me where I realized in this session that I was saying I was fully committed, but I was not fully committed to this relationship. And so I want to just tell you right now and share and express, I'm fully committed. You know, I want to put that, like, put the stake in the ground, put the flag on the ground. I'm fully committed. And you know what happened is she said, I don't think I'm fully committed. And within a week, we ended the relationship. And of course, this is a very complex, complicated, intricate story, which holds space for a lot of emotions and a lot of other things which occurred and took place. And so I'm not trying to simplify something which was beautiful, complex, and intricate. I'm just trying to share that sometimes when you anchor your commitment, it will trigger in other people their lack of commitment, and it allows you to look at things honestly, openly, and transparently, and then choose from that place. And so just like in relationship, if you say to a partner, hey, I'm fully committed, and they say, wow, I can really, as a mirror, you're reflecting back to me that I'm not fully committed. And so if I'm not fully committed, then why am I here? And so my question for all of you is, if you're not fully committed, then why are you where you are at? Why are you where you're at if you're not fully committed? Why are you saying you want more if you're not fully committed? Why are you pretending that you're going to push forward into your business if you're not fully committed? You're going to create a lot of resistance and suffering for yourself if your commitment and your intention are not aligned. For example, if you say, I have an intention to bring about this amount of impact in the world, but you're not actually fully committed to that, being fully committed to the actual potential of your impact that each and every one of us can commit on this earth, it includes a lot of dissolution of ego and shadow and resistance. And you're going to amplify your resistance instead of your impact unless you double down on your commitment rather than pretending to be a vibrational match for your purpose. There's a lot of moments I'm going to let just be here with all of you, because what I just said should shake something up inside of you. It should shake something up inside of you. Where are you pretending you've been committed but you're not? I want this to stir something up inside of your heart. What area of your life desires more commitment? Mine is my health right now. Right? Mine is my health. I haven't exercised in the way that my body is accustomed to since going through the fire back in January. I haven't lifted weights. And I can't say, honestly, if I'm being honest, I can't say I haven't exercised because I can't. I could do resistance training. I could do HIIT workouts. There's lots of things I could do. There were lots of things I was used to, which were taken away from me. But commitment requires adaptability, requires adaptation, it requires flexibility, it requires pivoting. How many of you are committed to something and then you call it a failure and then you just decide to ditch out completely? What part of your life is showing this to you right now? Could be your business, could be your purpose, could be your relationship. I'm going to talk into business, purpose, vision, because it's why I'm here. I bring a level of fire, an element of fire that works really powerfully as a coach because I call forward a higher level of commitment. It's the only thing that's going to separate you from everybody else. Nobody, listen, the 6 and 7 figure coaches and online entrepreneurs, whether they're coaches or not, these people, they're not smarter than you. You and I, there's nothing different between you. I don't have more special gifts than you do. I'm not smarter than you are. I'm not more powerful than you are. I don't have a nicer disposition. I don't have a better anything, a better voice. I'm not, there's nothing here that's going to separate the two of us except that I'm extremely committed and nothing can stop me because of my level of commitment. And for you, you have excuses. You might have excuses. You may have excuses. So what's stronger, your commitment or your excuses? Right? And with a tender heart, and I'm going to say this to Marla because she's one of my coaching clients, and she shared with me she was going through something really tough the last few days in this week, and she said she was feeling like such a failure. And there's a lot of tenderness that goes into that sentiment, right, Marla? There's a lot, I can be really tender with that. I can be really, really loving. And I could really hold you in that. And I could also say that you're not a failure, right? So failure is not what is occurring here. And so I don't want to amplify the story that your ego has about failure because I can see that that's a diminisher, much like procrastination would be. I can feel energetically that you use this story of feeling like a failure and it's holding you back. And I know, how do I know that? Because I know in our coaching work together, you're right on the edge of breaking through a lot. Purpose, power, prosperity, right? You're about to make a lot more money. You're about to create a lot more impact and step into your power. The 3 P's are going to be amplified in your life, right? They're about to be. And you're on the edge of a choice. A lot of you are on the edge of a choice. Let it release, Keisha. All the parts of your body that you're feeling contraction, constriction, breathe in. You're on the edge of a choice. What's going to be stronger, your commitment or your stories. A lot of the places you're experiencing anxiety right now, Keisha, are just stories that live inside of constriction and contraction in your body. And the way to dissolve contraction is through inviting expansion, just like lungs or like childbirth, right? Contraction, expansion, contraction, expansion. So if you're feeling anxiety, for any of you who are feeling anxiety as this transmission is coming through, my invitation would be breathe in, committing to leaning into it, breathing out. You can use your breath to move through this, just like a wave of plant medicine, just like a wave of anything. When we feel waves, we're invited to either duck out of it completely or to lean into it further. So Keisha, lean in. Hold yourself. Yes, my leadership is healing. Hand over your solar plexus. Holding yourself, you are safe. A lot of us are afraid to step into our power because our power is more powerful than the part of ourselves that feels unsafe. So in essence, we feel unsafe to be a powerful leader in this lifetime. We feel unsafe to be powerful, and so we don't feel safe in our commitment. Notice that when you fully commit, it means you're stepping fully, you're claiming fully your power, your solar plexus. So hand over your solar plexus. I am safe to step into my power, and I'm fully committed to it. I'm safe to step into my power, and I'm fully committed to it. Deep breath in, Keisha. Deep breath out. If an energy, a primal energy, wants to come through, this is one of the things that works with the solar plexus. Breathing in and bringing to life and bringing online some of your primal energy. Some of maybe even your masculine energy, your leadership. You said your leadership, I hear your leadership is healing, your masculine energy is healing your leadership. That your self-leadership, your personal leadership, your sovereign leadership is healing through this. When we anchor deeper commitment, we heal the masculine inside of us, we heal our relationship with the masculine outside of us, and we heal all of the lost opportunities where we said no to ourselves, thus saying no to everybody around us. The only way to step fully into the purpose is to heal and integrate this masculine energy, the structure and the safety that holds all of this power, being informed by the feminine and executing through the masculine. And so for those of you who are really struggling to get a hold of what's happening in your vision, in your purpose, in your body, in your business, your purpose, just inviting the part of you that recognizes, perhaps if this is true for you, if not, let it go. If it's true, hold on to it. That perhaps the lack of commitment in your life was not demonstrated through perhaps a level of discipline in your childhood. Maybe you were never taught values of commitment. And so what do? There's a fear of abandonment and you leave. For those of us who don't fully commit to people or to things, there's a deep fear of abandonment. So we leave before the commitment is even possible. We abandon ourselves and we abandon others. I just want to hold space a little bit for what's coming through in the comments. So I'm going to take a couple deep breaths before I read these. Take a deep breath in, everybody. Lauren, I love you. Love you, Lazi. Shadows will never take over you. Yes, everything touches everything, all areas of your life, Lauren. Watch the excuses come up for all of you. Witness the excuses. As this transmission is coming through, you're going to feel excuses coming up. Your ego is going to, as we go through waves, same thing with plant medicine, the ego gets stronger, it's trying to protect you. Say thank you because it thinks you are not safe, so it's trying to keep you safe. It thinks you're not safe. There's a story that your body is unsafe. You're afraid of your own power. There's a possibility you're afraid of your own power, leaving your body feeling unsafe, and so your ego tries to back your body up and say, okay, you're not safe, my job is to keep you safe here. I'm going to keep you small. I'm going to shrink you. And so hand on the solar plexus, I am safe, deep breath into it. And I'm fully committed. and I'm fully here, and I'm fully willing. Kali of courage to be seen. Just notice these are all stories. Fear of judgment, fear of being seen, fear of being unsafe. All stories. Release them. Let them go. Nicole, my excuses are stronger as fresh game because I'm aware of it, but struggle to change it. Okay, Nicole, you don't need to be frustrated because you're aware of it but struggle to change it. I will tell you how to change it. Take action that demonstrates your intention. If you're truly committed, then let go of your fucking excuses. It's what you need to hear right now. You need to let go. It's time to let go of your excuses. They're not helping you. They're not moving you forward. I love people in full commitment. Right before I jumped on this live, I had a brother message me and say, hey, I want to do private coaching with you. I said, okay, great. Here's the link to get signed up. It took all of like 10 minutes. And he sent me a message back, great, I'm all signed up. And he said, I had resistance come up because you hadn't even mentioned the price, anything. I looked at it and I clicked purchase now because I can feel, despite my mind and my ego showing me resistance, that actually shows me that it's the direction to walk in. So I say yes, I walk forward, and that's how the fuck you break through your excuses. You witness them, you see them in the light of day, you invite them into the light, and then you say, yeah, and I call bullshit. And this is my indicator that I get to step forward. Here, the breakthrough already just occurred. This is why the breakthrough occurs in even the payment. That's why the breakthrough occurs even in the payment, because that is the energetic commitment that yes, this thing is more important than all of the excuses which have been implanted in my subconscious since the time I was a little kid that said I'm not worth committing to, that I don't deserve being committed to. First from people that we love, then potentially with the energy of money. So if you think that you're worthy, Nicole, everybody else, don't be frustrated because you're aware of your excuses being stronger than your commitment, but then not taking any action. The only person to be frustrated with is yourself. There's no magic solution. Like I said earlier, I'm not smarter than the rest of you. Nobody has anything more magical than you do. They're not going to unlock any kind of fire in your chakras. We need to get over all of this nonsense. You have the same opportunity that every single other person that's going to watch this video does to not only transform their lives, their business, their bank accounts. These aren't just words. It's an easy solution. Let's stop overcomplicating it. But if you're not fully committed to it, it's not going to occur for you. If you're not willing and ready to take action, then what you are saying you are committed to is to the suffering and to struggling. You're more committed to your struggle than you are to your success. So are you more committed to your struggle or more committed to your success? If you're more committed to your struggle, you're going to let the excuses continue to run your life. But all it takes is one single time of saying, I'm so sick and tired of these bullshit excuses. I'm pushing past them. I'm saying yes to myself. That could look like you starting your business, finally you leaving your job, finally you leaving the relationship and claiming the relationship that you want, finally you putting into your own terms the life you want rather than living the life that maybe your parents or somebody else thinks you should live. Taking a deep breath in. Lauren, you're safe in the structure I create. I can and I am. Yes. Marielle, my sister, another client. I love you, Marielle. I've stayed in the victim story so much, and now that I get out of it, the minute it tries to get into my way, I can see clearly the thick of that victim energy and buy my victim story again and again. Perfect. Love that awareness, Marielle. And also, I see this story and I'm rewriting it. This is an exercise in coaching called rewriting the story. A lot of you are mentioning right now in the comments, you are seeing your awareness is already really, really high, so why is your life not changing? Because your actions don't match your awareness and your intention. Awareness, choice, change. Awareness, choice, change. You have high awareness, but you're not making a new choice, so nothing is changing in your lives. A new choice to that would be, okay, great. I'm aware of the fact the victim story is keeping me small and shrinking me, trying to think that I'm unsafe, so it's trying to keep me safe. I'm actually going to choose to step forward nonetheless, and I'm going to double down in terms of me being seen. think that was complete for you, Mario. Let me know if there's more. Kasia, I feel not safe in my leadership. I'm scared of my power. That's why I'm not safe in my commitment. Yes. Connor, what's up, brother? Laura needed to hear that too. Great. I'm laughing and clapping right now. Wow, you're spot on for me. Beautiful divine information. Yes, coming through. I'm giving actually 20% of me to my people, 100% action, but real me, my essence. I'm actually giving just 20% because I'm scared to give whole me to my potential clients. I don't trust humans. Here we go, Kasia. I'm still going through the comments. Here we go with what you just said. Lauren, I'm now ready and committed to my success. Victoria Morrison, this is amazing, beautiful. Kali, I'm saying yes to my commitment. Fuck, that feels empowering, Adam. Yes, Marielle. Let's get it. Nicole hits hard, but perfectly hit the nail on the head. Yep. Eva, what's up? I'd go back and watch this one from the beginning, Eva. I would definitely go back and watch this one from the beginning. It's really interesting. I don't think there's any brothers on this live. I saw a couple jump on. I saw Connor and Anthony, but I'm not sure if they're still on here. So thus far, it's been all women, and I'm talking about the masculine. I'm talking about commitment. So this is all feedback from the universe. It's all feedback from the universe. It's very interesting, though. It's interesting feedback. So just being with what is occurring right now for you, what is coming up, noticing the stories. My invitation for everybody here is to, if you were to take a tangible exercise out of this live training, I like to provide a tangible exercise. Rewrite your story. This is called rewriting your story. Rewrite your story. If your old story is filled with the excuses of like, I noticed that the victim comes up and sometimes I feel unsafe. I feel unsafe in my leadership. I feel unsafe with the masculine. By the way, for those of you who say, whether you're male or female, because I work with a lot of clients who say, I feel unsafe with the masculine, notice that that's also an internal dynamic playing out. Before you get to the point of actually projecting that lack of safety upon a man or the masculine energy in general, sometimes it gets triggered by women who are more in their masculine. Before you get to the point of projection, I would just invite in some reflection. Before you get to projection, I'm inviting in reflection. So reflect within yourself. If all of this is true for you thus far, is it probably possible that there is a masculine energy within you? We all have masculine and feminine in us. Masculine energy within you, which is being healed and integrated more deeply. If you feel unsafe with the masculine, is it true that is it an externalized fear? Or before you got to that projection, is it also true and primarily true that you feel unsafe within yourself, with your own masculine, with your own leadership, with your own structure? Thank you, brother. Beautiful. So rewrite the story. Here's what it looks like. Whatever your old story is, whatever excuses come up, whatever's there for you, you literally just sit down, write it all out on the left side, old story, all the things that you're noticing, and a lot of these are going to sound like excuses. They're going to sound like fears, right? And I might be the first person to tell you this because this is not what a lot of life coaches and coaches will say, right? A lot of these are stories. Fear of being seen, fear of being heard, they're real core wounds, and a lot of them are stories. And they become comfortable stories that people can live in. And so if you've had the same story that you have a fear, oh yes, this is my fear of being seen, and it's been there for 5 years now, you have to really look at, are you feeding the story and perpetuating it, or are you dissolving it through awareness and making a new choice? A lot of people in personal development, especially in spirituality, will live in the story for so long. And at some point you have to choose to break through the story, not feed it. And that starts with being aware of what the story is, but continuing to do healing session after healing session only to say, oh, I'm having a breakthrough, this is my fear of being seen, all is only going to perpetuate a story that you have, that it tells you you're afraid of being seen, which then reinforces the lack of action that you take in order to be seen. So don't feed that. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting with the same intention and ceremony for the next decade. And if anything, you can say to yourself, my intention is to break through the story that I have inside of my mind that plays out, that makes me think I'm afraid of being seen. Because are you really afraid of being seen? As a child, were you really afraid of being seen? I have never met a child who's afraid of being seen, or heard for that matter. Even more so being heard. Children are not afraid of being seen or afraid of being heard. That gets developed by something happening, a trauma or otherwise. And that's also a conditioning. So don't deepen the conditioning around the story. Break through it. And how do you break through it? You choose to take an action that is a reflection of the level of commitment you're going to take. So, number 1, rewrite the story. Number 2, I invite all of you to step out of this training and make a commitment to yourself that is a reflection of the intention you claim you hold. If you said at the beginning of this training, you're a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, anything less than a 10, well, there's 10 people on here right now. If you're anything less than a 10 in the commitment to your business and your vision and your relationships, and also you're telling me, us, who now are holding you accountable, that you would like to be a 10. If this isn't you and you don't want to be a 10, I'm not going to project and pretend that that's what everybody's desire is. But if this is true for you and you're saying, I want to be a 10, across the board, business, vision, relationships, I want to be a 10 in my level of commitment, my invitation is to stop pretending and living inside of the intention forever. At some point, I'll invite you to now, as you finish this life, take at least one action, if not more, at least one action that is a reflection of your intention to be a level of 10 of commitment. And your yes is going to bring up a lot of shit. The reason, you want to know the reason why most of us don't do this and why many of you won't do this when you get off this live? I'll tell you. There's 10 people on this. Maybe 5 will do this when they get off. The 2 things I just said, which are very simple. Take one action that demonstrates your level 10 commitment, number 1. Number 2, rewrite your story. I just gave you an exercise, a coaching exercise. And half of you won't do anything. Why is that? Because, and maybe Eva's saying this now, the brain is tricky. Your ego knows that when you say yes to that, all of your shit is going to come up. It's the same thing if you said yes to working with me or anybody who's going to take you through dismantling this and then a transformational process, which is going to have you break through all the bullshit. It's the same thing if you say yes to a plant medicine ceremony, right? It starts working on you right away. When you say yes, all your shit starts to come up, and your ego is going to come up with a lot of reasons to convince you not to do it, right? So some of you will say, oh, it's late here, I'm not going to do that one thing that he said to do. Oh, it's late here, I'm not going to do that. And then tomorrow you won't do it either. Tomorrow you won't do it, the next day you won't do it, and all of a sudden your diminisher, which is for a lot of you will be procrastination, will start to kick the can down the road. You'll continue to push it down the road, and you'll never do anything. I'm being honest with you right now so that you can take a look at this. A lot of you will not do shit, and that's okay. If you're okay with it. It's okay if you're okay with it. That's why, from my standpoint, I've had to learn this lesson a lot. I can't overserve and try to pull people into the level of commitment that I'm ready to serve them at. They have to be a yes to, okay, I'm ready to. That's why even energetically, financially, emotionally, everything has to be aligned. It's not a good fit for me, because if you're not ready to be fully all in and committed, then I'm going to be over-serving in order to take you to a place you're not ready to go to. So a lot of you aren't going to do anything when you leave this live training, because the ego is going to give you a lot of excuses, and a lot of your shit's going to come up, and it's a self-defense mechanism, right? It's like saying yes to a plant medicine ceremony or something like this retreat that we held, and then being, oh, I think a lot of stuff's coming up, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it, and at the core, we know the difference between reality and excuse. It's easily disguised by the ego, but I can feel the difference. A lot of people will say, hey, I really want to create this transformation in my life. Yeah, but okay, but I can't afford that right now, which, by the way, you're already discounting yourself at the level of transformation and commitment that you just said you're ready for. And so how is that fair to yourself? That's basically energetic language. I translate that as energetic language for you're not fully committed. You're not committed enough. Nobody has the money, right? That's the whole point. If you had the money, you wouldn't need the coaching. If you had the healing in your heart, you wouldn't need the ceremony or the plant medicine. If we were all enlightened, none of these conversations would be occurring. Of course you don't. Of course you are not yet. But you will be. And if you had a full trust in your being, you would be able to even have the insight, the foresight, to be able to look ahead and say, oh, I fully trust this. I know that this is going to be really fucking tough, this ceremony, but I know I'm going to make it through this and get to the end of this thing. And I'm going to anchor myself in the breakthrough that I came here to have. And that thing is going to carry me through all the fucking wicked waves that it's going to take me through. All the wicked waves of my ego. Or the same thing that I just said. I'm going to do this coaching. And I know, because every fiber of my being tells me that these thousands of dollars are going to amplify and multiply into, add 2 zeros onto the end, 3 zeros at the end, 4 zeros at the end. Why would it not? If we're all coming at this with the same level of intelligence, like I said, and the same level of power to unearth, and the same magic inside of our DNA to unlock, and the only thing that stops you and me is the level of commitment. I've never been able to, every time a digit, a space, a zero gets added onto the investment that I make myself, whether that's coaches, ceremonies, anything in between. So at every time, I don't even go into the conversation of can or can't I afford this. That is irrelevant to me. Because my trust is so deeply, because God guided me to the point of, okay, I'm calling in the perfect opportunity. I'm in the perfect place to make this happen. I prayed for transformation in my life. I prayed for power and prosperity to emerge. And so now this opportunity is in front of me. God gave it to me. How stupid would it be to say no? If I trust with every cell of my being in me, in my magic, in my gifts, I'm stepping forward. I'm a yes. Let's go. I'm happy if fear shows up. It means I'm on the right path. I'm no longer in the game of fear stopping me or slowing me down. And so that's my prayer for all of you. For you to get to a point where you're not in the game of even questioning things that you feel are true in your body. You just go for them. And remember that you're a lot further ahead than your ego is going to give you credit for, because you don't have to, there's nothing to cultivate here. There's just things to commit to. Stop letting people sell you on the idea that you need to cultivate X, Y, Z. You don't. You just need to unlock that shit, and how you unlock that is through committing to it. Committing to yourself. Committing to putting this into a structure and a process and a vision and a business. Woo! Yeah, Mary, I'll write it in the comments to rewrite the story. Just... Eva, yes, and start doubting after. Yes, appreciate the honesty. Yep. Whew. Mariel, I'm ready. My action is private message to the 59 women on my challenge, at least 20 today, the rest tomorrow. Let's get it, Mariel. There we go. Now we're talking. Keisha, I feel my truth is taking over so much. My ego is fighting so much now. It's a fucking battle happening in this dark Swedish bed now. I love you, Keisha. I'm here with you 1000%. I'm ready to. I'm going live tomorrow for the first time to do energy work and talk about stuff. Fuck those fears. Yep. I want to change my name to Adam now. Oh, I love you, Keisha. Nicole, love that. Looking forward to the fear. Yes. That's all that there is. All right, guys, I got to go. I'm looking at the time. It's nearly 5:55, the angel number for transformation and change. And I have a private coaching call in 5 minutes with a client. So I'm going to let all of you go. Thank you so much for being here. To the 10 to 15 of you kind of in between here and there, for those of you who are jumping on late, I would really go back and watch this one on the replay. As always, feel free to comment below, invite people in to watch this, invite people into the collective that resonate with these messages. I will do my best to upload this soon onto YouTube so you guys can watch the full replay and know where all these are at. Thank you all for being here. You're welcome, Marla. I am sending a deep, deep, deep surge of commitment into all of your hearts, for you to recommit to yourselves and to double down. You're welcome, Eva. Thank you. So much love to all of you. I will stay tuned with all of you for if we will have another one as soon as this Sunday. We probably will, because there's a lot of energy here. Let's work with it. So I'll probably do another live training this Sunday and just double down for you guys. Love you all. See you soon.